Hi everyone, it's Lisa Mears here, and in today's video I'm going to be using some new products from Pretty Pink Posh to make some cards. I'll be using the layered citrus stencils. This stencil set is a 3-layer stencil, which allows you to stencil on some citrus designs onto your cardstock. And the stamp set that I'm using is the citrus stamp set. This set has a orange, a lemon, and some orange and lemon slices, and sentiments that say, "Wish I could give you a squeeze," and "You're the zest." In this video, I'll be using both of these products and showing you 3 ways that you can use them to make cards. So starting off, I have a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock and I've lined up my first layer of the citrus stencil with the cardstock. And I'm using the scrapbook.com Lantern Light ink, which is a very light yellow ink, and I'm going to ink up this first layer of the stencil. So this layer is for the inside of the fruit, and then the next layer that I'm going to add will be the edge of the fruit, so the outside area of the fruit. So I'll line this one up, and then I will add my magnets to hold it in place, and this time I'm coming in with the scrapbook.com daffodil ink. So this is in the same color family, but it's just a little bit darker ink than the lantern light that I used previously. So I'll go ahead and ink up this layer. Next, I'll go ahead and remove this stencil, and there's one more stencil in this set, which this stencil is the little fruit juice splashes that are coming out of each one of the lemons. So I'm going to bring back in the lantern light ink, and I'm going to ink up all of those areas with this lantern light ink. Next, I'll go ahead and remove that stencil, and I want to add some glitter to this background, so I'm going to put back on the stencil layer A, and I'm going to use my Brutus Monroe glitter glaze, which is a clear glaze with some glitter in it, and I'm just going to spread this glitter glaze over all of the open areas in that stencil so that all of the inside of these fruits are going to have a glitter effect. And I love this glitter glaze. You've probably seen me use this in the past. You can use this with any color ink and just spread the glaze over top of it, and you'll still be able to see the ink color underneath, but you'll also be able to see that beautiful glitter shine through. And this is a wet medium that you can put over your stencils, and then once you finish, you can then just let your cardstock sit and dry, and it will dry pretty quickly, but just let it sit and dry because you don't want to handle your cardstock while it's still wet or it will smear. And then just rinse off your stencil and your palette knife and all your work surface as soon as you're done so that that glitter glaze doesn't stick. Okay, so I showed you how to use that stencil and create a lemon background, and now we're going to use the same stencil, but we're going to create a background full of oranges. So I love that this stencil is so versatile that you can actually make these fruits to be any fruit you really want, whether it's a lemon, an orange, or even a lime, just depending on the ink colors that you choose. So this time I'm going in with some orange inks. I'm using the orange cream ink for stencil layer A, and then for stencil layer B, I'm going to come in with a slightly darker orange ink in the same color family. This is the orange spice ink. So I'll go ahead and ink up all of the outside areas of the oranges in that darker ink. And then once I'm finished, I will add the stencil layer C, which is the fruit juice splashes, and I'll ink that one up with the same ink I used for layer A, which is the orange cream. Next, I'll add stencil layer A back, and I'll use the Brutus Monroe glitter glaze to add some glitter sparkle to the oranges. So if I hold this up close, you can see all of that sparkle that's added to the inside of those oranges. I also repeated the process to create a lime colored background. So with this, I used some green inks I used the Pink Fresh Studio, Fresh Pear, and Grassy Knoll inks. So now I have 3 stenciled backgrounds, one with oranges, one with lemons, and one with limes. I love how versatile this stencil is. So I'll go ahead and set those stenciled backgrounds aside, and now I'm going to color up my stamped images from the Citrus stamp set. So I stamped my images onto some Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I'm going to color them up with my Zig Clean Color Real Brush pens. Do a little bit of coloring here with the colored markers as well as the blender marker. So I have the lemons that I colored up the whole lemon as well as a lemon slice and the little juice splash marks, and then the whole orange I'm going to color up as well as an orange slice, and then in just a few minutes you'll see that I stamped another set that I'm going to color up in green for the limes. So just like the stencil is versatile and you can use it 3 different ways, you can also use this stamp set 3 different ways as well. So for the colors, I am using the yellow for the lemon, so it's the yellow marker that I'm using, and then for the oranges, I'm using the orange marker, and I'm also using the blender. And then here's where I'm coming in to color up a lime, and I add the green marker, and then I'm going to use the blender. So actually with each one of these images I've only used one color marker and the blender, and I love how using the blender it allows you to blend out that color to create a variety of tones from dark to light. And if you don't have a blender marker, you can do the same thing with a water brush or even a paintbrush dipped in water. So I also stamped out some of the leaves, and I'm going to color up the leaves. So with the leaves, I'm using the emerald green as well as the blender. I also use the green marker and the blender for a few of the leaves as well. And I'll color the flowers in the peach pink color. And I'll add the yellow for the centers. So I do want to let you know that I will have all of the supplies that I use in my video today listed down in the description box of this video. So now I'm ready to turn these into cards, and I am using a rectangle die and die cutting the stenciled backgrounds. I'll do that for all 3. I'll set those aside, and I'm going to work on a sentiment. I die cut a circle out of some green cardstock, and I put some powder on there because I'm doing some embossing. I stamped out a sentiment with some Versamark ink. I'm going to add some white embossing powder to the top of that. Sprinkle off the excess, and I'll use my heat tool to set that embossing powder. I see that there was a little piece of that sentiment that did not have ink, because you can see there's some open space where the embossing powder didn't stick. So to fix that, I'm just taking a white gel pen and just tracing over that area, and that's an easy way to fix this type of mistake. So I added a strip of green cardstock. I actually cut this with a die set from Pretty Pink Posh called Stitched Strips. It does go off of the edge a little bit, so I'll just use my scissors to snip it off. And then I'm going to add the circle sentiment to the left side of that card layer. And then I'm going to add some of the lime fruit to this card, as well as some of the leaves, as well as a flower. And I'm also going to add this to a green piece of cardstock. I cut the green piece of cardstock to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. The white stenciled piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I just add that to an A2 size white card base. That's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to finish up this card by adding some of the Pretty Pink Posh Lemon Lime mix, and I'm just adding the limes to the card. And then that's going to complete my lime card, and I'm going to do the same thing with the other 2 cards. So here's the lime card, and then I have my orange card. I did not put any of the clay confetti mix on the orange card because I didn't have any that matched it, but I also have my lemon card, and I did add the lemon lime mix with the lemon pieces from that mix. So those are going to complete my 3 cards today. I love how easy it is to use the citrus stencil and the citrus stamp set in 3 different ways to create 3 similar but different cards. So I will have all supplies linked in the description box below, and if you're interested in making a purchase, I always appreciate when you use my affiliate links because it does help support me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you like videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel and turning on your bell notifications so that you'll be notified every time I release a new video. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.